I just thought I'd kind of come out and do something a little bit. I titled, put down in the description. I know how long it's going to go, but just sitting here and my wife's having a discussion, and I don't know, you know, people, people like, you know, that she seemed to meet, or at least, just I mean, it's different from being in other areas of other states. We're in a, she was used to being, around, some other areas, some other states, and this appears now. I don't know, this appears not what she's used to. I mean, it really kind of boils down. I'm not saying that there was a lot of people. But generally, if you get in one of those popular areas of a state, or at least, you get a better chance of having meet somebody. Man, her, we just don't have much. I mean, we could go out here and stand up out here and make signs up. And people be honking at us, hollering at us, throwing stuff at you. They'd make fun of you if you did that, you know? And it would cause a big ruckus. I know she wants what I want, in this whole deal with this unicorn thing. And she's asked me tonight, again, said, and I can't help her. I mean, we went over everything. I went down. I said, well, if I had all this thought out back then. Of course, at one time we were still trying to make the family stuff work. My wife wanted me to, for some reason, wanted that stuff to try to see. I did. I gave it my best shot, but it's just too much couples, too many things just not going right. Just everything's just a mess. And my people, I kind of knew what she'd get out of mine and so forth. And like I said, other than my dad, there wasn't really nobody took good to her and didn't understand her enough. But you know, I, she and I don't like it here, and that's I don't know why else. Like I say, I mean, I'd hope that someday it would turn itself around. I bet me and her both was on there practically off and on throughout the day, and I bet we probably put over 300 people on the block list or thereabouts. But it's just there's a lot right now. It's just things are going on and things are happening, I guess, and the world just a lot of people just change. They want everything as the norm. That's how everybody is. Somebody gets married, wants kids. I don't. I'm not saying I ain't for good kids, but again, it goes to what I've said earlier. I really just don't want to fool with anybody else's kids. Not after the way they treated me up here last year. I don't want it. You know, it's too much trouble. It's too much hassle. I don't have my name on anything. My wife don't have a name on anything of anybody's kids. There's not like a connection. I told her she could go out there and get any lady out there off the street. It wouldn't matter. They'd find something they didn't like about me, and they'd sit there and put on smiles and carry on for her. Probably, most likely. I don't, as I've known, I don't really have to do much for somebody not like me. Yeah, it's different when you've got my wife who was here from day one and knew what she wanted. It's different, but you know, people in general just doesn't, you know, get everything I guess they want and at the right times, or like she said, I'm not gonna wait till me and her's almost 50 and 60 years old, or something, and still have this thing going. I want to find something for me and her while we're capable of doing some stuff, and while we can still go out and have fun. We can still very well do it in our 40s, but I'd like to see us get it as quick as we could. And I told her it took me a good long time before I found people offering things. I used to do it on my phone. But it's you know it's a lot more work than it looks. And like I said, the counselors and stuff, they at these places, they're telling you all this stuff. Oh, this is a good idea. This is, it's not. They don't care. I had this stuff. It's been you know noticeable for a while, and everybody make excuses for everything under the sun, and there's just no. At the end of the day, there's no excuses. I mean, like I said, we tried everything, every avenue you could go up or go down. I got to where the other day I was on the phone with Hazel and I said, if we're ever bothered to you, just let us know. It won't bother us to stop. And the last thing I told her, I said, the last thing I want to do is be in the way. I felt like every time somebody's come in front of me, I'm always in the way. Or, my wife's just not got enough, for anybody to care. They got their own stuff they're worried about. We're always going to be last, whether she likes it or not, whether I like it or not. Unless there's a person out there that's not got much going on and could, you know, see themselves being happy with this sort of package and putting me and her in a good spot and making us feel good. And like she said, we'd go the whole 9 yards for you and show you, exactly what we would do, if given opportunity. Some sweet lady out there, 20s and 30s, if there's somebody out there like that, that, you know, close by, somewhere near here, Decatur, Tennessee, or like I said, one of them other close cities, places. Because like I said, it's too far for anybody out of state. They're not going to travel that far, especially with gas and everything. And my wife and I ain't capable of going out here and walking these roads and sitting down there and pig all fucking day. Everybody get their panties in a wad and be wanting to know if she wanted to ride home. That's the only thing she's been good at getting is a ride home. Same thing I got. I mean, she last time I went to Dennis was about almost 2 months ago now. I was supposed to go back a long time ago, and Murray messed me up at one time. I had the money put back. She said it wasn't down on their schedule, and I told them plainly to put it down. So ever since then, I've been trying to reschedule it, and things just keep happening. Or I have to keep trying to fit it in. So I'm gonna try to fit it in this time. When we get our checks for the month. I called her payee and told her just send it all at one time so we can all get everything caught up. So we wouldn't have to try to, do this, because we're not going to pay for consumer cellular any longer. I've got my wife's stuff coming. She got a text today, so it should be, the next couple days or so. We should know more. But, so just now shipped today. So, it could be out here in 3 or 4 days. Who knows? But it's unfortunate. Like I said, I blame myself. I came up with an idea, maybe not soon enough. My wife goes back and forth about Bonehead's woman he used to have, and she's come down here. I didn't know for what, like I said, I didn't know. I didn't know what it was. One time I was singing a song and and then she's kind of, kind of like she's flirting with me a little bit. And so I go and I text her right after my wife was, my wife was a little bit upset, and rightly so at the time. But I told my wife what God, I said, well, man, if we look back at that a little differently, and if we knew what was going to happen, right there was one of our chances, probably the only chance. Because I told my wife, I said, at least she liked music. She liked country music. She danced. She talked to you. She wasn't talking about, you know, drugs or alcohol or, she wasn't talking about like that stuff we had up here with this other one we had up here a year ago. I don't know where she'd be or anything, but or even if she would be anywhere around, it's been a while. Um, but man, I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't care a bit, if that option was up somehow, still available. If we got a hold of that person or something, but somehow, I don't know, things change, and it's like I said, you can't. I told my wife earlier, I said my book would probably be a bestseller, but for all the wrong reasons. Everybody would find fault with it. They'd say, "Oh, this can't be true. This can't be." I'd probably get people, "Oh, there's no way." Yeah, some of it's my fault. Some of it, when I first had a chance to do, to have a lady, I turned it down. I didn't, well, because at the time, like I said, I was still happy with everything. Everything was, it was a schedule. I got up and went to school, played some PE, got, did my work, whatever was in class. I had fun. And I didn't want to risk, somebody upset or getting mad over me maybe potentially having a girlfriend at the time. This is back when I was in like 8th grade or something, and anyway, Bonehead went out there and got this thing, and she offered to just be friends, and I just didn't. At the time, I just, I wasn't looking for anything. And like I said, and the Roxanne thing, we talked about it again earlier, and I told her, I said it was a freak accident. If I'd had my way, I'd have just went on probably back there in the back, and like I always did, went on back there and wouldn't have thought nothing of it. But Tom Pride was the one that got that started, and I've lived that down ever since. I told my wife earlier it was hard for me to get over that. I spent over a year and a half trying to find her, but and all that stuff, and one time I resorted to calling the school up there, and I felt bad afterwards because I was like, well, I should have known better than call. I got, they was like, oh, we don't do that, and and all that. So Kobe had me on 3-way, but I told my wife there wasn't really enough connection there. I was at the time I was barely 18, 19, or whatever, and well, after I graduated though, I'd been at least 20. I mean, I carried it with me for about a year, because I thought, man, I still might have a chance. And one day I just came out of nowhere. Me and him was talking, and he was talking to me about his best friend or friend that he had. He was telling me about her, and so one day I brought up, this Roxanne thing, and we put our heads together, and I thought, well, the school might, would help us, and of course they didn't, but I didn't know enough, you know, uh, information would, and maybe information wouldn't have been able to help because it wasn't under her name at the time. I don't think anyway. The number that would have been available, because it was probably somebody she lived with then. my wife asked me a while ago, how old was this person? How old would this person be? I said probably around my age or something, close to it. I mean, my wife's 34. And she graduated a year before I did. So I can see that. I'm 37, gonna be 38. So she have to be about 36, 37 probably. Or 35. But again, I mean, and like I said the other day, I sent out a friend request and sent her a message out, let her know it was me, that we shared my wife's, profile and stuff. But I told my wife, I said, just there wasn't enough there. She didn't want nothing. I told her I was just like a piece of crap to everybody. I don't do as good around other people. And, it's just, I'm not into a lot of things. My wife's into most of the things I like, but you don't find that very often. And as much as I'd like for me and her to have something nice, it's going to take a monumental effort on somebody's behalf to just have all that they want to do, and it wouldn't bother me. I mean, I could definitely pay them back. Me and her could in other ways. But there would have to be somebody that just didn't have nothing, that would just want something like this, and it would make them whole. You know, like it wouldn't. Because like I said, we got a great deal. I mean, is it an expensive deal? No, but over time, by the time you go out to eat all the time, or you pay, you buy stuff for somebody, and then they buy stuff for you, and each other's over time. Yeah, if you're talking 20, 30 years from now, if we got something pretty close to right now, yeah, in 25, 30 years time, you spend all this time with this person, and it builds up over time. And yeah, we'll all be growing old together, but while we still had a little bit of stuff left that we wanted to do and wanted to go out there and have some more fun, play some sports, try to get out of this hellhole we've been in. But fortunately, yeah, nobody, and like I said, I never guaranteed nothing, and to my dismay, I think that we're going to have to, I come to the realization if it don't happen soon, I told her we just may have to accept that we've lost this. I mean, I don't want to, but again, it's tough. I mean, it's tough getting anything. I mean, like I said, it's easier for her to find a dog, a cat, a cow, or anything else that's running around out here. I mean, you know, it's not every day. I mean, I've had a few times where I could be somewhere, me and her be somewhere. I brought up two occasions just before this video. You know, there was at least a couple times in the pig where there'd be somebody sitting there, and you'd be. One time there's this one black lady come in there, ordered a pizza, sitting there and just talking my ear off, and next thing I know, I thought, man, she's talking my ear off. There must be something she wants. I don't know what, but so then about that time, I was like, my wife comes back and she's like, well, are you got somebody? And she's like, oh, yeah, I got, no, damn. And because I was really liking it at first. I mean, until I heard that, and I've never lived that one down. And the other time was this other girl that was in there. She was younger though. She's at least a teenager, like she just gotten off from high school or something. She's sitting over there, and this one other boy was over there, and he's kind of so, and I was like, there's something up with this. Don't look right, and I don't know. Like I said, I got up and I just left. I was like, yeah, it's just, just not. But I mean, I don't know what to say. I mean, I've just come up with something. I can't make it happen. I can't make magic happen anymore. I never really could. If I had to be honest. No, I don't have what it takes to make anything happen. Everything's already got. I can't fit in nothing. I'd had to have something where I had something in common with somebody, and I just don't. I mean, you could say and name half the stuff me and my wife have in common and the things that that most people like to do, which is fishing, hunting, all that stuff. Me and my wife don't care nothing about. We don't even care about the politics, the news. There's a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot of this stuff people would go, oh, you don't like this. You don't get into that. No, I mean we don't. But again, it's life. I mean, this is what happens. I'm just lucky, I guess, that I've had what few chances I've had. My luck may have run out. I sat here and I waited a year and a half for my wife to show up. And prayed about it. I said, well, if it was meant to happen, let it happen. If it ain't, so be it. Because at one time, I don't remember what my mom said, but it got to me. I thought, I texted her back. I said, well, do you know of anything? She's like, no, I don't. I said, well, let's just drop it then. Because I didn't want to fight about it. It kind of started over at Leonard Skinner's song, Simple Man or whatever, and she wanted me to listen to it, and and all that stuff, and so I did. It's a pretty good song. I mean, it's anyway, it's a pretty good song, and it's got meaning to it, and it touch you, in the heart a little bit, pull at you a little bit. But I just thought, yeah, it'd be cool. My wife and I was like, it could be like, yeah, if it was the perfect thing, like nobody had nothing, or this person didn't have a mom or dad, it kind of feel good to be like a stepmom, stepdad type thing to one person, whoever she might be. And that's like I said earlier. I said in the video earlier. When we've been on Facebook, me and my wife's longest run was between the 2013 and up to 2018, and we got like a couple of things off of there. It was mostly just other people's junk, People. One time I had somebody say, "Oh yeah, Derek, I remember, you from school," or something. And I find out they're all the way in Kalamazoo somewhere, or off to another state somewhere where you can't see them, and then they're working, and then they're married, got kids, and all that other crap. I just gave up. Her name was Amanda, but I don't remember what her last name was. But anyway, I can remember what her first was. It's weird, It's like every time something comes to me, whether it be, it's always got something in the way. It's always got, something there where it's just not enough. Not for me and my wife. Like I said, we've tried jobs, we've tried everything else that normal people always try, and it's never enough. It's always, when they see you and you can't even, like I couldn't even work 3 hours without somebody coming up to me wanting, somebody new would say, "Oh, who are you?" And I'm so and so, and blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay, and I would go along with it and tell my name and stuff. But then some of them over time, they'd start wanting your number, and then you'd get their number, and then you'd find out you really just got yourself in a mess because they're not gonna have time for you. They gotta go home and cook dinner and whatever, for the kids and put them to bed, and then hubby's at home, or if he's not home, he's probably at work or whatever, and gonna come home later. That type of stuff. And I just, I guess it's too much to ask for anybody simple anymore. I mean, it's just too much, I guess. And like I said, I've prayed out loud at times. I've done everything I could do. Even though I'm not much of a Christian kind of person, but I've done just about everything I can do. That I can do. I don't think, like I said, I can't go out here and do stuff I know would bother somebody. We've put a few flyers up. Nobody responded to them. Of course, that's before the pig went down. We ain't tried since then. I'd be afraid to put one up down there now since the pig shut down. I don't know. But I mean, I told her, and I went through several things. I said, well, I don't know anybody that would, that you could ask if they had somebody that didn't have nobody, because whoever it would be, it'd have to have. Well, I mean, depending on the situation, but the best person that would fit the best would probably be somebody with a car and somebody that had a way to get you around, to get you moved in if they really wanted this deal to go as like we'd hope for. You'd have to be somebody like that. You couldn't just have somebody with no car, no job, and all this. They'd have to have something, some type of money. Even if it's just SSI or something, you would have to have something. And like I said, it's not about that for us, me and my wife or anything, but it is one of those deals where you realize, like we did the last time, and we had something up here. She had nothing. I mean, food stamps, but again, no money for her kids except for that, and that's once a month. That's nothing. Oh, Derek, it was $800. It don't matter if it's $2,000. Point is, my God, a feller can only, do so much. Hang on, I'm trying to plug. I was trying to plug it in. There we go. It gets a little cool at night, so I'll plug it up. But anyway, yeah, it really wouldn't matter how much they gave you. Of course, they wouldn't give you $2,000 unless you had about 8 kids. I mean, she had 2, and she got, this person got like about 800 on her card. So she probably could have had four kids. It'd probably been about $1,500. But again, one thing I think I could do maybe, to change her luck is maybe, going over to Athens more and trying to, we could cash her check at the pig and see if Mary would mind us, going over to Walmart afterwards. I could try that. We could get there a little bit more. We've only been to Walmart like twice in the last, in the last year and a half. It is Athens, so I mean, it might be a chance. There's definitely a lot more people goes in that Walmart in Athens, and Decatur don't have nothing but the pig here. They're lucky they still got that because of what happened about a week and a half ago. But yeah, there's just not much I can do. Put videos out. One time, like I said, I had a guy comment out here, and I didn't know who he was or nothing, but he commented. He said, "I wish you luck with it." And that's all. And we talked a little bit back and forth, and I ain't heard from nobody on here since. I thought, man, that's weird. I got a comment on video, It's on the first video I ever made with me and my wife, and it was telling everybody about us, Because Zach, we've been on here for over a year, now, close to over a year, and it'd be like 1 year. Well, it'd be 1 year that I've had his computer, so we've been on here about 11 months. It seems longer, but yeah, well, actually, probably about 10 months because I think I got this in April, and then I didn't do the YouTube thing until like uh, July, I think it was, or something, late July. So again, it seems longer, and everything, but I think maybe changing it up and going maybe to Walmart and changing the scenery up. She seemed like she had a good time over there the other day. Got her pizza and got a Coke Icy, me and her both. Went over there and got, you know, shopping done. And now me and her don't have to worry about no, uh, you know, consumer cellular that much anymore because as soon as her phone gets here, we won't need to use them anyway. My lips are dry. I need to use my chapstick. Um, but yeah, just I hope maybe me and her luck could turn around, or somebody might view this video and that some lady might say this. Like I said, if you got kids or something, just make sure that they're good kids. I don't really want to have anybody with kids, but if they were really, really good and they wasn't ratty and on purpose, I'm trying to, make my head split and my wife's head split. 'Cause I like to be able to hear myself think when I'm in the house, and it's just the way me and her was raised, And I always believed that outside was your time to yell and scream and run and jump and all that, But then again, it's tough, being in a certain situation, and you know me and her's been through probably not the worst of things, but we've been through quite a bit with everything it's considered. And I was viewed one way, and like she said earlier, you can't help. I mean, you can't help it. When people come out here and view you one way, and they want to do things the opposite way, they want to do things backwards, you want to go out there and do all that sort of stuff that you don't want to do, and you don't want to party hardy and all that. I like to party, but I like to do it, in a way that's good. I just don't like drinking parties, smoke parties, and people on drugs or nothing. I can't stand that. Nah, fortunately for me, I've never been around anybody with drugs, but the smoking and drinking, I can tell you, my family has done it for sure on my mom's side. So, I don't know about the drugs. I heard, there was a story that was told to me. I don't know if it was true or not, but that was why, my mother made the decision she made. And then, of course, I was up there for over 2 weeks and got used to how it was up there. And she got mad at me for the longest time. She wouldn't let me come down there. Granny Diane was like, talked to her, I guess, at the time. And that was from what I know, from what I was told. And because Granny Diane really wanted to see me, and she hadn't seen me probably in about 2 years at that point or something. I think it's at least 2 years. And this was like 12 or something when they finally let me come back. But, and like I said, I enjoyed stuff like that in my kid days. And I wasn't worried about how many women was around, how many girls was around, or boys, or whatever. But because you're a kid, you just do everyday kid stuff. You have a good time. But when you're older, like we are, Like I said, I'm 37. She's 34. Just, you want to go out there and you want to do more. You want to do stuff. You want to do something fun. Like I said, yeah, we're handicapped. Yeah, we have a learning disability, but there's a lot more to us. We can make up for our shortcomings, and we can show somebody a good time if they just allow us to do it. If they really was happy with us and not just saying it, to make her happy. I hate that because, that's what I feel like these people do out here a lot of times. They get her, oh, Derek gets this and really likes you and really likes me or whatever, the good talk will be. And next thing I know, they come in front of me and they're totally different. Act like a bunch of idiots. Like they're in here telling me, as I recall the one we had up here from a year ago, for example. Oh, you gotta let me see my friends and all this. I gotta go up there and hang around all this, and you gotta let me do this and that, and there's a whole bunch of stuff. And that, to keep in mind, I never asked. I never asked her one time, and she just started coming out with this like after she woke up the third day. She started waking up, and it's just like I said, I look back at some stuff, and like my wife, I wonder if I'd have made this move, that move, or whatever on the checker or chessboard, would we have been in a different spot? And the only thing I can think of that was a guarantee that had she had the money, that went off the Facebook, you know, I can't say it enough. She was a legit person. She looked good and she's black, and everything and everything, but she let that money stuff get to her head. She's doing it for good cause, don't get me wrong, but she had her head in the wrong. She's trying to do everything all at one time, trying to get enough to get her, I understand that. But sometimes you gotta learn to get, you gotta start out. I asked her, I was like, why don't you just get somewhere in your local area somewhere? Or, even y'all in Derrick, it would be a lot less money. I know that. But you could have worked. You could have, paid for your friend, some of your friend's stuff and got her some treatment started and she would still be here. But anyway, we went through a lot of that for a while, and we were doing that from March or early April of 2018 till we hung in there till about January of the next year, because I know it was AEW. It was about the last. They had that announcement. We were still filming with her then. But we shortly after that, in January of 2019 or whatever, we cut all ties because time we got through and all the money we spent and tried to help her get up here, and she was supposed to know what was going on and everything. She just, every time I paid for something, if it was a bus or and some people might say, "Oh, she couldn't help it." I know, but I'm just saying, she's supposed to know what was going on with that makeup job and all that other stuff. She's supposed to had known what was the deal. She waited. She just, I reckon, went with the flow one time, and what was told to her, she bought it, and she saved up enough money somehow. I don't know. Her parents, I guess, had a allowance fund or something other, and she got a one-way ticket up there instead of getting one back. If she'd got one back, we wouldn't have been in that situation. I never would have had to get rid of my wrestling stuff and all that other stuff. I pawned a bunch of stuff. Like I said, we gave a lot. My wife and I both pitched in. And I was working part-time for Hardee's. I was pitching in, trying to help her. I felt bad for her, we felt bad in everything. Like I said, every time we get something, there's always something seems to be, though, like it's in the way. And I just, I just every time I see Texas or anybody from another state, I have to block them now. I can't even look at them. I just cause I just the realization of just how much people want. They're not careful. They buy anything that's sold on these sites, you know, and they buy into these ads, And for the longest time, I didn't want to buy into this, you know, Q-Link wireless thing or whatever this, thing. And I found out it's through a government program thing, and it was actually all free. They give you 10 bytes, 10 megabytes of data to use for internet purposes if you got Wi-Fi or something. Which we do, but I'm having a hard time getting it all put in there. I ain't worried about it. I probably even hardly use it anyway. But you get 10 megabytes of free data usage a month. You get unlimited calling, unlimited texting, and you can send pictures. It don't cost nothing to send pictures back and forth. So I see you get all that. You get all that free. If you go over the 10 megabytes of data, then they'll charge you something. I don't know how they'll do that, but if you go over that, they'll charge you. I don't know how much it is or what. Anyway, they give you a pretty good deal. And now I know why they say there's over 2 million. I could see 2 million people switching to that. I could see 60 million people doing it, or 100 million, if you just pass the word around. You don't get many things free, but the only deal with what I'm talking about, right here, this is what you get. Right there is your camera. And let's see. Let's see. Let's see here. I'm trying to see. But anyway, it's still Assurance Wireless, but they call it Q-Link Wireless. I guess they joined up and made another thing. But there's the screen. You can't really see it that good on there. It kind of blurs a little bit. There you go. But it does good pictures. I took a picture of my wife the other day, and you get one of these, and you get a battery, you get a charger, you get all that in the box. I threw my box away, but they call it a kit, a SIM card kit, but it comes with phone and all, and you don't have to pay nothing for it. No shipping and handling. To me, you can't beat this deal. I mean, I wish I'd found out they were doing this. Of course, at the time, for the longest time, I didn't have a computer that could do it or an internet site. I didn't trust my PS3 because luckily it let me on Facebook. I wasn't able to do much more than that. But anyway, but if you wanted, you have to sign up online though. It's kind of a small hassle to get through all that, but it's like signing your life away. You gotta put all that, your address and all the usual information. You gotta then there toward the end, and there's about like 4 different pages. But anyway, you gotta go through it all. Then they'll ask you if you agree to this and that. The only catch they have really is if you don't use it at all within the month, they cancel it out automatically. So, like, if you and you have to be a part of a government program, though. You either have to have You either have to be on food stamps or Social Security, and they'll ask you for everything, Social Security number and all kinds of stuff. Like I said, it's about everything you can think of. So you'll have to have everything handy. You'll have to put your 6 number pass code in there to use for certain thing, and then there's one part where you put in the four code password thing is for your phone. Mine's the last four of my social. I don't give that out here, but it's the last four of my social. It's easy for me to remember, so I put that. But anyway, the only thing you don't do is voice recorder. They do have apps, but like I said, I can't get on my. I tried it the other day, and I just said, I can do without it. It's no big deal. But it's got a couple of ringtones, but the pictures are really good. They take real good. They're real good and clear. So if there's somebody on here and you watch the video and you want to become a Q-Link Wireless / Assurance Wireless, you can go to assurancewireless.com and you sign up. You just press whatever they tell you to press on there. I forget what it, but you just go where it says join now, sign up now, whatever it is, and they'll take you through it, and then they'll send you. You have to have an email or some way of them getting a hold of you. If you don't have email, like you could do your phone, and they'll send you a text to your phone, I guess, and so they can update you on your shipment and whether it gets processed or whatever. So they'll update you every so often. My wife got a text on her phone today because I put her number down in the order. I accidentally messed up on the address, and I was going to have it sent to my. I guess we were talking about something. I think now I remember what happened. I was talking to her about something, and because I meant to put 182, but I put my granny's old, my granny's address by mistake, Papa and them's, and she's like, Derek, they won't give us that phone if it's, So I thought, well, let me go back. So I kind of went back in there, and I saw where I could go back in and redo it, but they wanted to make sure, hey, if you do it this time, this is, the actual address you want sent to. And so I went in there and corrected it and got it all fixed up. And so she should be getting it in less than a week or so. It only took like about one day or so, 1.5 days to get it approved. So it should be here in the next 3 or 4 days or something. But it's on its way. So, we should have our food stamp card within the next 2 or 3 days, if maybe not tomorrow, hopefully. It's been 5 days counting tomorrow, but it could be 2 or 3 more days because it's supposed to be between 7 to 10 days. So, yeah, if we'd have called just a little bit sooner, maybe like on the 10th instead of the 12th, we would have been guaranteed to still get our food stamps probably on the 17th, like usual. But anyway, she had one of those moments where she's trying to find it. She thought she lost it. It happens. It happens to me too sometimes. When we were finding that the other night, I happened to say something about that blue bag or something, and we've got it over here now somewhere, and over here close by us. But I happened to say she happened to go over there and look in that corner, and she's like, "There it is." And it was too late. We'd already told them to cut the card off, so we ended up having to throw the food stamp card away. But yeah, it's just been one thing after another. But I'm hoping somebody out there, that's like I said, if you got a few family members or something, or some friends or something, I don't mind to meet them, but I'd like to try, me and my wife would like to try to take things with you and see how you do first before we, go to talking about us to other people. So that way we get a better introduction, we get a better, hopefully get a better result, and hopefully everything will go as like I hope, plan, like my wife plans. We're, other than us being handicapped and everything, we're just like everybody else. We can get out there and really do something. We sing and we like music. She likes art. She'll watch movies, TV. She'll watch sports. She might even watch old boxing sometimes. You just see, just have something on. She's not that hard to get along with. She's probably actually better than me at some things. As far as it seemed like, um, just depending on what I think it is. I mean, like for me, I can be a little tough, especially if somebody back talks me and I get a little loud and everything. You know, we had one up here testing my buttons, and I don't like having to tell somebody something over two or three times, and but I keep bringing it up and all that stuff. It just, it seems like it never ends. It's just like one of them TV talk shows or something. It just seems like it never ends. They never shut up about it. No matter what you do, no matter what you say, they just never happy. But I'd hope that this person's laid back and just I'd hope and pray for it, you know, uh, and hopefully me and my wife can see something before it's our time to go, get some good use out of what's left of us, and and give it to that person, that special person, and we give her this ring that we got over here. Oh yeah, it's sitting right over here. But we'd like to be able to, give you this, signifying that we married you as family. Like you're part of our family, and and give you. We have some other things for you too. Small couple of gift bag things that we got some stuff in. We got and everything. So uh, some nail polish and some things like that. Uh, but we really went out. We were really serious about it. You know, I know a lot of people. 99% of them probably wouldn't think nothing of it, but if you just happen to be one of these that gets this video and wants what we're offering, you're more welcome to be the one that you know changes this you know trend for us, and we'd thank you and pay you back and then some. Like I said, in our own way. Like I said, me and her, we like to do a little bit of everything too, as far as cuddling and everything else. That sort of stuff. You like your back rubbed, massaged, your neck done, massaged or something, and like she never had me do. She said, Derek, I've never had nobody rub my head. She likes that. She lets me cut her hair. Of course, I that's the only person I've ever cut hair for. I ain't never done it professionally. I just cut it as short as I can, and she likes it that way sometimes, especially during summer. But so I don't, you know. William, you say, well, Derek, it's a little bit out of place here, and it's just, and I was like, yeah, I know, but she don't care. But usually if I cut it like I did this past time, and I always cut it pretty well, as much as I can get off, it grows back pretty even, you know, and like I said, I usually like to leave it long during the winter so she has a little bit of something to kind of keep her a little bit warm, and that. But yeah, so it's just one of those things, that we just have to, we get up tomorrow and we can look again. But if you get a request from us, if you get one from us and you get a greeting from us, like how's your day and how you doing, or, hi sweetheart, or whatever we put, me and my wife. It's under her name, but we share her Facebook. So, I mean, we'll let you know who you're talking to and everything. Uh, but if are interested and you've got the desire to want this and it's something you want, and like I said, we like to do a little bit of everything. Also, we'll make out occasionally. Like I said, it's not a big deal. Me and her do it occasionally if it's something you'd like. If we want to have our own kids, you want to have one of our kids with us, something, I'm okay, and my wife's okay with it. And it's just like I said, I just don't want to babysit other people's kids if they ain't mine or my wife's, that we didn't have anything in it to begin with. Because, like I said, I'm just not into it. It's just because it makes me look bad when they're calling me Uncle Derek and Uncle Rick like I had happen last time. I don't want, because I hate when people come up to me and say, "Oh yeah, I saw you when you was 2 or 3 years old or whatever." Yeah, and I had that happen when my dad passed away. His funeral. I had these people. Oh, I met you back at Bowling Grove. I remember when you was a little kid. I'm like, oh, good lord. I just, it's crazy. But I don't like to claim to know somebody unless I really know them inside. The outside's going to be there, but the inside's what I really like to get to know as well, and really have me and my wife make a connection with somebody, not just based on, oh yeah, like they sold her before. They say, oh yeah, I met you off Facebook and all that talk. Just I'd like to see somebody really legitimately say, hey, I really got to know these people. I like that they're the way they are. They ain't changed for nobody. They didn't, like she told that one lady, she ain't changing for nobody. We don't change you and don't force this deal on you. Then don't try to change us from who we are. If you don't want to know something, don't talk about it or don't bring something up. You know, so if you bring something up, I just let everybody know out there right now, you'll get the absolute truth, whether you like it or not. So if you think it's going to be something that you might need to think about, and how you word something, or let us know something, because like I said, it's not to be mean. I've give good advice, but some people's left it, believe it or not, left it on the table. Left it sitting. And they get mad at me or they get mad at, my wife sometimes. But she knows how I am. She's been with me almost 11 years now. Going on 11 years. It'll be 11 years August 18th. So anyway, I just hope that, there's no confusion. But yeah, we'd like somebody, you know, to be with, and to, we'd marry you in our own way with this ring, and a private ceremony like thing. We could go out and do a certain thing, and my wife would find a way to do it, propose to you like that, and you keep it as a keepsake and memory of us. So something ever happened to you or one of us, or however, whatever happens, we keep this bond forever, even after we're gone. It's a lifetime bond. That's what we're after. We're not after your money. We're not after nobody's, you know, cards or IDs or nothing like that. We're not like a lot of these people out there calling everybody fake, and everybody putting them through a ringer. If you try to fake me out, I will figure you out, and I ain't worried about it. So just be who you are, and we won't have no trouble. But anyway, I'm gonna get it off here for tonight because I've went about an hour. Well, actually, like 10 seconds from being an hour. So I just say in closing, everybody out there, unicorn, if you're out there, we'll hopefully see you soon, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.